For this next song, I want everybody banging their heads. Short hair is not an excuse. Everyone headbanging. Try to keep up with me. You will fail, but you can still try. Sentence to burn.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be in a band. That's all I wanted, you know. When I was 15, I'm gonna be in a band. I don't care about anything else. That's all I wanted, and I still have that, you know. And so going on, every time you go on stage and you just put the horns, and everyone puts them up, man, there's nothing that can beat that.
Before we started, you know, we liked bands like Death and Slayer and Possessed and Creator, Sodom. I mean, they all had kind of horror-related subjects in most of their songs, so it seemed logical for us to do that kind of thing too. I think it's a really good match. I mean, the kind of music that we're trying to play sounds dark and aggressive, and that's the kind of stuff that you're going to find in a horror movie. You know, you can have a horrifying song with no lyrics at all if you do it well enough, but you put those horror lyrics on top of something that already sounds you know, aggressive and dark, and it fits really well. And the stuff that we were into when the band got together was definitely the Italian stuff like Fulci and Argento. Fulci, Gates of Hell, and The Beyond are the two of my favorites for sure.
Well, I mean, it's like, you know, you can look at a movie like The Shining, and then you look at like a Fulci movie. You know, I mean, The Shining isn't really overly gory, you know, but it's evil. You know, Fulci movie is just outright, just all-out gore. I think we have songs that are like that as well, you know, that are more, you know, of a Shining-style horror movie, and then we have just some, you know, Fulci, Argento, just splatterfest.
Every band is inspired by something else. You know, this kind of stuff didn't develop in a vacuum. I mean, if it did, you know, you could have had a band that sounded like Job for a Cowboy in 1955, but I don't think that would have been possible. Each band's inspired by the stuff that came before them, and then it gradually builds up to where you have something really, really extreme. That's how it goes with metal. And so we're definitely not gonna, you know, criticize people for being inspired by us.
Well, it's the ultimate compliment, of course, you know. I mean, very flattering that, you know, we can be influencing a generation, a new generation of musicians and bands to play this kind of music and, you know, exactly put their own spin on it. You definitely feel a sense of accomplishment on our side that, you know, we're doing something that's really moving people and moving them in a positive way.
It's really weird considering what we sing about, that, you know, the lyrics and whatnot, that people say to us, you know, hey, you got me through hard times, you know, like, because they love the music. It's about the music, really. You know, there's some bands have messages, we don't really. It's just love of horror movies and things, you know.
I can see where someone would look at it and be like, whoa, what are these guys doing? That is ridiculous. But obviously the lyrics, you know, just taken for what they are, you know, if you actually saw what was being described happening, it would be awful. On some level, yeah, you can't take it too seriously, I guess, but I do, you know, want people to know that as much as, you know, we would never condone any kind of actual violence or anything, we want to make serious horror music. You know, whether or not people take it seriously, that's up to them, but we take it seriously when we're making it. We wouldn't have been in a huge magazine like Rolling Stone if it weren't for controversy. In our case, it was our censorship problems.
Top News lumped us in with a bunch of all this music that was bad for society, and it was about 9 rap bands and Cannibal Corpse. So, of course, what did it do? It just stirred up some publicity, and a lot of people sought us out even more so. And, you know, I think for us, all the publicity we've got, bad, good, or whatever, it's been good for us. People want to seek it out, and they want to see, well, what's the big deal?
If you're going to sit here and tell me how bad we are, how bad all these bands are for the kids, go talk to the kids. That's the problem with a lot of kids today. Nobody wants to talk to them. They don't want to hear what we have to say. You look different, you look weird, you don't matter, you know, and that's the way I think a lot of kids feel. And they're, you know, they come to the show, they're not outcasts, they're not misfits, everybody accepts them. There's people that look like just a normal average Joe Schmo person there, but they're there to see the band. They know the songs, you're part of the crew. You're with us. You feel like, you know, you're part of a family, you know, everybody is there for one reason, you know, to see this band or to see the opening band and to have a good time. And those people, if they want to understand that, then talk to the kids. At least you'll get their opinion. You'll understand where they're coming from. You know, look, the old days are the old days. There are some things that, of course, I miss that, you know, were great for back then, but I don't miss them so much that I would want to go back because I think things are better now. And a lot of bands that would never have gotten the chances they're getting, you know what I mean? It's happening now, you know? It's everywhere. You can go online and, you know, any band you want to see, you want to hear, you know? Hey, check these guys out, MySpace, write it down, bam, there you go.
Not a lot of long hair anymore, I guess, these days, you know? I mean, you don't even know who's in a metal band anymore. When we were growing up, yeah, you had long hair. You know, that was a big part of being a metalhead, so not anymore, you know?
But, you know, music is the most important thing. What's coming out of your speakers matters more than how you look, you know? So if a band is awesome and they you know, look totally different from what's considered a normal metal look, that's fine with me. One thing I noticed is there's a higher level of skill with a lot of the younger bands. Probably a few different reasons why that happened, just more availability of instructional material on YouTube or whatever, but it's cool just to see a high level of quality coming out of the new bands, because that means metal will be around for a long time.
Stay